I'm taking you back to simple times. Back to a time where gear didn't matter. Just to show you that any camera could look cinematic. Even if you have a $500 camera or an iPhone. So sit back, relax, and most importantly,
thank you for riding with MTA New York City Transit.
Street light sounds.
Alright, let's do this again. A little different this time. I told myself that money would never be a factor. Now I'm laughing at Benny Hanna's with benefactors. Sell my soul for an artist love with them giant raptors. My chef cooking that steak and lobster on giant platters. Forsaking all again for this fathom after. Path to disaster, enslaved by the master. I'm hearing they laughter, Drunk off my own grapes, yes, I'm blasted. Pockets is fatter. Without peace, what does it matter?
Yeah, I'm gonna film
this
you.
madness. My career's center stage, just a sideshow. Carrying the shame everywhere that I go. Haters can continue, I know. But do I want that mercy or that mercy lie go?
hello and welcome. For those of you who don't know me yet, I am a full-time truck driver and this is my journey to become a full-time content creator. So if you wanna follow my journey, make sure you subscribe. So in this video, I would like to share with you two things. What makes a video look cinematic and what makes a video feel cinematic. I'm splitting it in two parts because I think it is important. I would like to start by giving a shout out to Samson. He reached out to me to let me know that he has been watching my videos and enjoying them with his son. So shout out to you and thank you for the comment. So as you probably already guessed it, I filmed the video that you saw before with the GH5, which is a camera that you can get for $500. And I also use this cell phone, which is the iPhone 15 Pro Max, which has a very powerful camera, to be honest with you. A lot of people emulate film. I do as well. So the video that you saw before, the sequence, I was trying to aim for something that looks kind of like 90s New York City or something like that. Hopefully I achieved it, and there is a reason why I like to emulate film. I love the nostalgic feel of it, and I feel that it makes my video look a lot more authentic. There are many ways to emulate film. One that I used to use before was Theeditinghero Pro. Theeditinghero Pro is pretty good. It's not bad at all. It is probably one of the best plugins to emulate film out there. But on this video, I used the new film look creator from DaVinci Resolve, which I find out that is a lot easier for you to achieve the film look by using this plugin. If you already have the DaVinci Resolve Studio, you can take advantage of this tool. I feel that it's a lot more intuitive and it is very easy for me to get the film look that I'm looking for. You can use it kind of like a color space transform, change some of the settings and tell the plugin what kind of camera you're using, so it will transform your footage from log into Rec 709. Another thing I like to do is transform my footage to Cine on film log so that I can use the DaVinci Resolve preset film looks. I feel that by getting the film look, having the bloom highlights, having the halation and the grain, it makes your digital cameras like the cell phone look a lot more pleasing to the eyes and more cinematic. Another way to get the film look is by shaping light. Whether if you are indoors or outdoors, I always like to bring with me some lights. If you look at the shot, I use one hard light in order to make it a lot more interesting, and I bounce the light from the wall right back at me. And if you can see, since it's hard light, you can see like a round shape of the light. For me, it looks a lot more interesting than if I was just to use a soft light. I was going for something different, and I like to experiment a lot. Sometimes I like to add color into my shots. For example, in this shot, I use like a red gel to change the shot and make it look more red. Basically, just have fun with the lighting. And if you're outdoors, like in this shot right here, try to position yourself in a way that you can make your shot feel more like three-dimensional. I know that we cannot control the outdoor lights, But if you position yourself in a way that the shot looks a lot more, like if it has more depth, you are going to make your footage look a lot more cinematic. So I learned all of this when I started in photography. That's why I recommend a lot of people to start in photography first, because when you're a photographer, you're trying to make one shot, one frame interesting. And to me, that is a big advantage. So if you know how to make just one single frame interesting, you're going to have an unfair advantage when you transfer that to video. So let's move on to the good stuff now. Another way to make things look cinematic is to use interesting shots or interesting angles. The way I do this is I use this thing called the magic arm, and I use it to place my cell phone camera in places that look interesting. Like for example, in this shot right here with the truck, some people commented and said, wow, like how do you do this? And it was actually quite simple. The magic arm cost like about $50. So I placed my camera on the step of the truck so that I can get a really interesting shot. Or in this first shot that I used in this video, I basically put the magic arm right on top of my camera handle so that you can see a really interesting angle from above. Those are angles that we don't really see in real life. So by incorporating that kind of interesting angles or shots, you're going to make your video a lot more cinematic. And I feel that a lot of people appreciate the extra effort you put in. Remember, at the end of the day, the devil is in the details. Now we're moving to the side of what makes things feel cinematic. And I want to start with sound and sound design. And those for me are two different things. Sound for me is when you put a microphone somewhere and you're trying to get that clean sound, that clean professional sound. So I use this Holy Land Mark II or whatever this is. I put it near my camera sometimes when I'm out there trying to get those handheld shots and things like that to capture the ambient noise. That is really good because it makes things feel a lot more authentic. I want to immerse you into my video. Now, a whole different thing is sound design. Sound design happens in post-production. That is when you start adding sound. Like for example, you can use Foley. If you didn't get clean audio for like, for example, key change, like in this shot, you can either record it with a professional sound recorder or you can make the Foley yourself. But sound design is not really just about that. That is like the basic core of sound design. Sound design, you know what? Let me show you this clip.
Do it. Michael Jordan had the biggest impression on me. I think I was 13, and
So in that clip, I had a lot of layers of audio in this one. I had like about 13 layers of audio, and they are all doing something. For example, at the start of the clip, I added like a bass drop. It's a sound that goes like boom. So that is taking you back to the past. With sound design, you're trying to help the story move forward. So sound design, you can use it to shape your story. On that sequence, I use a clock ticking, and that is a reference of time moving, time passing. And I use so many different sounds that enhance that sequence right there because I'm also trying to make that sequence feel more powerful. And even if you notice the beginning of the sequence, the song that played before it, I turn it into slow motion a little bit. I slow it down. So sound design is like a tool that you use to enhance the story or to help you tell the story. Lastly, another thing I think make videos feel cinematic is cinematic pacing. Okay, I'm going to explain pacing with an example. A lot of vlogs, when I see them, they start in the same place. They are waking up, they hear the alarm, they start cleaning their teeth, they make some breakfast, probably coffee, they get dressed, they walk out of the door. You see them either riding a bicycle, driving, or walking into the next scene. When you look at the first sequence, you didn't see how I got to the train, you didn't see how I got into the train station. There are a lot of things you didn't see. Instead, when I move from inside of the train to outside of the train, I use a sound element.
This is the last stop on this train.
And also the next shot, which shows the name of the station, which is 42nd Street. I feel that a lot of beginners, they feel trapped by showing every single shot, trying to explain you the story because they think that the viewer is not gonna get what they're doing. I try to give the viewer the respect they deserve by letting them work and think on what's happening, right? There's no rule that says the establishing shot go first. You can establish where the character is later on or at the beginning. It depends what you're into. I like to show the details first, and then at the end I show you the big picture. I feel that when you show the details first, people are trying to figure out what's going on, and then at the end they get like a reward, but that's just the way I like to do things. Anyways, I have to go to work right now, so I hope that you like the video. Make sure you like, comment, let me know what's up, and thank you for watching one more time.